Excuse me. I'm sorry to bother you, but I had to ask, is that monochrome rainbow? I thought so. I recognize the cover. Are you a fan of Tukhotski's work? Most people only focus on her longer works. I understand why, but it's nice to see someone take an interest in her short stories as well. Monochrome Rainbow is my favorite collection. Oh, I'm sorry. I never introduced myself. I'm Rize. It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance. I've noticed you reading here a few times, but I've always been too nervous to talk to you. I didn't want to make you uncomfortable. Oh, nothing's wrong. It's just a relief to know you don't bite, I suppose. If you don't mind me taking up some more of your time, what's your favorite story in the collection? Really? That's my favorite too. I had a hard time choosing a favorite, but something about that one just speaks to me. I think it's the prose. Tukhotski has a way of blending sophistication with raw emotion that you just don't see often, and it's the most apparent in that story. There was one line in particular. Oh, I'm sorry. I should have asked before getting so close. I got carried away. You really don't mind? Thank you. You're too kind. Now, let me see. Here we go. This line here. To demand that the ravenous starve is a luxury afforded only to the gluttons. I decided from a young age I would never restrain myself at the whims of those who could not do the same. If that meant becoming a glutton myself, then so be it. At least that way I would die knowing satisfaction. That line always resonated with me. It's always those who have the most that demand those with nothing should hold themselves back. It's because they think they reach their position in life through their own merit instead of luck, as if those beneath them are choosing to be there or aren't willing to claw their way up. I'm sorry. That sounds bitter, doesn't it? You mean that, don't you? I can tell. You're the first person who agreed with me and meant it. Most people just do it to be polite. The braver ones at least disagree with me openly. They say it's too morbid a way of thinking. Can I ask you something? I'm sorry if this seems sudden, but would you be interested in getting dinner with me tomorrow? I know this is our first time talking, but I think I'd like to get to know you better. We could talk about Tukhotski more, if you'd like. Or we can talk about other things. Whatever you'd like. Really? You will? Thank you. I promise you won't be disappointed. I know a wonderful place not too far from where I live. Can I have your phone number? I'll let you know where to meet me. Is 6 o'clock okay for you? Perfect. I'll see you tomorrow then. I'm looking forward to it. Over here. Don't worry. I haven't been waiting long. I got here early. Thank you. It's not every day I get to go out with someone, so I try to make myself presentable. You look nice as well. Oh, no, the restaurant isn't here. Actually, I have a confession. Have you heard about what happened last week? The Ghoul attacks? I also live near where the attacks happen. When I think about how there might have been a ghoul lurking outside my house, that I might have been the one they devoured, I get so scared. I've barely been able to sleep. I'm sure the ghouls moved on already, but I would feel safer if I had someone with me. I told you to meet me here so we could walk to the restaurant together. Is that okay? Thank you. I promise, it's not far. So, I know you like Tukotsky's short stories. What about her longer works? Do you have any favorites? Really? You like Dropbox as well? It's one of my favorite novels. The main character's struggles are so layered and realistic. You feel as though you were going through them yourself. It's beautiful, in a sad way, but I suppose most of Takatsi's novels are. I've been getting into some of her newer works recently. Maybe you've heard one of them? The Black Goat's Egg? You haven't? That's a shame. It's a fascinating book. I think you'd like it. The protagonist is the son of a serial killer, known as the Black Goat. He hates his mother for what she does, but as he grows up, he realizes he has those same violent impulses. He tries to fight them, because he doesn't want to be like her, but the more he has to resist them, the more sympathy he feels for her. Doesn't it sound interesting? I've really enjoyed it so far. I'm looking forward to seeing how it ends. I'm sorry. Can I tell you something? The truth is, I didn't just talk to you because of your book. I know you've been watching me whenever I come to the park. Please don't try to hide it. You're not as subtle as you think. You'd wait until you thought I wasn't looking, then peek at me from over the top of whatever book you were reading. There's no need to be embarrassed. I don't mind, because the truth is, I've been watching you as well. Yes, really. I know you're interested, because I'm... Is that a knife? What are you doing? Why do you have that? I don't understand. I thought we were going to get dinner. I thought you liked me. It was all an act. The book, accepting my invitation. All of it? You just wanted to get me alone so you could rob me? You're not interested in my money? What are you going to do then? Oh? Is that all? That was fun. I should try playing the damsel in distress more often. I'm grateful you gave me the chance to try it. I wish you were a little more creative with your threats, though. You had me at your mercy, and cutting my throat was the best threat you could come up with. It's pitiful, especially when you can't even hold the knife anymore. I wasn't lying earlier, you know. I do live near the ghoul attacks, and I haven't been sleeping much recently. But it's not because I'm scared. It's because I'm so hungry. I hunt all night, and it's never enough. If your hand tastes this good, then the rest of you will make an excellent meal. I'm a what? A monster? a killer, a ghoul. I suppose I'm all those things, but if you want a specific title, I've heard them call me the binge eater on the news. Why are you so surprised? You should know as well as anyone that you can't tell a monster by their face. Isn't that what you counted on? That people wouldn't look at you and see what you really were beneath the mask? I thought you were smarter than that. But I suppose I shouldn't have assumed that reading Tukotsky meant you were intelligent. I mean, really, I barely had to try at all to get you to come with me tonight. I know now it's just because you wanted to get me alone. But did you really think a woman you just met would be so interested that you were the only person to ever share my hobbies? We talked about the black goat's egg earlier. Would you like to know what my favorite part of that book is? It's the part where the black goat chases down a man trying to run away from her and rips out his guts while he's still alive. You said you were interested in reading it, right? You're not going to get the chance, but you can reenact the scene with me instead. I'll be the black goat, and you can be the victim. Come on. You want to do Tukotsky's novel justice, don't you? You need to run. Unless you need some incentive? That's better. Not a very fast runner, are you? I thought you would be. Or is it harder to run when you're missing a hand? You still have some fight left. That's good. I like working up an appetite before dinner. But you're not going to get out that easily, silly. You couldn't hurt me, even if you still had your knife. Ghouls aren't as fragile as humans are. That blade would snap before it broke my skin. Speaking of fragile humans, I think you've earned some rough handling. I wouldn't want to go through all this trouble just to end up with a tough meal. Try not to die, okay? There, nice and tender. Ah, your blood is really tasty. What's that? Are you trying to say something? I told you the blade would snap, silly. But I appreciate you fighting back until the end. Begging for your life now? I wonder how many times you've heard that before. It can't be as much as I have. I'm afraid you don't have this quite right. I'm not attacking you, 'cause you attacked me. I was planning this from the start. Ever since I noticed you in the park, I knew as soon as I saw you that I wanted to know how you tasted. If it makes you feel better, I really did enjoy talking about Tukotsky with you. Whether you actually cared about them, or you were just pretending to draw me in, you were a good listener. Even if you were planning something terrible, I'm glad we got to spend this time together. Thank you again for talking with me. And thank you for the meal.